right. So, how's it going, Jack? So you are not freezing the same way we are here in Canada. This is
No.
Jack Underkoffler from Dead Poets Society here on Sea Rock Live magazine on SeaRockLive.com. And, we're going to sit here and have sort of a really intimate chat. We're going to be best friends with you. Sure.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I got to ask you, Dead Poets Society, how come you're not getting your ass sued up?
Dude, I have no idea. It's okay. And
wasn't that big a hit? They don't care. No, I just
yeah, exactly. Nobody knows the movie, anyways. You
got to be my age. You got to have a beard that's this gray to understand what the heck that means, right?
I guess so. We picked the name. Well, actually, I didn't pick the name. My guitarist picked the name before I was actually ever in the band, and we just, I guess, we stuck with it. And now we have a lawyer now, and he's like, yeah, it's cool. So.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
That's awesome because that is for my generation, that is an iconic movie. And it's do you have any similarities to the movie at all, or just stopped right at the end?
I think it just
the music's moody, and it was a moody movie. Let's not kid ourselves.
No. To be completely honest, it's kind of anticlimactic because I think when my guitarist came up with the name, he was just sitting at the cafeteria table at our college in Boston, and he was with the original bandmates who aren't in it anymore, and they were just like, we need a name. And he was like, okay, what about Dead Poet Society? And I guess everybody just went with it. And when I joined the band, I was like, guys, that band name sucks, we need to change it. and then everybody was like, well, we already made the Facebook page, blah blah blah. So
that's where it stops right there. If you've made a Facebook page, you got stickers, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're committed.
No.
You're committed.
Instagram, it's like knocked in stone, and then you got TikTok in it, right? So,
yep.
So I got a chance to hear the track they sent me. I got it. It starts off. There's an artist here in Toronto called Kalina Raquel, and she's like a blues folk artist, and it sounds like you're going on the slide guitar, and all of a sudden, hang on a second here, boom, this huge full metal. I don't want to say metal, but rock metal sound comes flying through with really, really substantial vocals. Where is this all coming from? What is your experience in life? I saw you guys some of you guys met at Berkeley, and some of you guys met at, I'm sorry, what's the technical college name?
Berkeley College of Music.
Yeah, and Wentworth, right? Institute?
And Wentworth was our original bassist. He's no longer in the band, but he's a mechanical engineer. That's why he went there.
Wow, so you guys are some pretty heady dudes, right?
Yeah. That's we kind of started. The intention wasn't to write heavy rock, but the song you're talking about, is that "Love You Like That"? Is that the name of the song?
It is. It's "Love Me Like That." Sure.
I don't know, honestly. To be the blues thing, kind of just it always struck a chord with us, like the old Delta blues, "Bring Me My Shotgun" and that kind of stuff. Always just yeah. It just, I don't know, that kind of music, it's just so honest and hits so deep, and it's so emotional but kind of evil at the same time, but it's just all honest, and that old kind of bluesy sound, just, I don't know, it hits a lot of people, and it hit us especially. And so that's kind of just always been a part of our writing style, is that bluesy kind of feel.
It's funny because I am in the older end of what would be called the rock demographic, right? So
yeah,
when I hear that, I'm instantly drawn to it. You're going to meet the devil at the crossroads, kind of slide guitar, something maybe nasty is going to happen, but you know what? That is in my mind a bit of a sophisticated sound for rock and roll, right? Not everybody's accustomed to.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. I don't know if it's vintage or sophisticated, but it evokes emotion in me right away. And then, but what was really impressive is that transition, and it happens. There's a definite transition from that into the next sort of group of the song, right? And it is equally impressive. So
Thank you.
You didn't catch a little bit of the song and go, "Ooh, great hook." The whole song is great from start to finish. The lyrics are great. The audio is great. And like, how long have you guys been together as a group in this incarnation? That you're getting that deep, like, into things, right?
Yeah, so we've been together as a group officially, like the finalized bandmates for 8 years now as of January. And that blues kind of sound, though, didn't really start showing up heavily in our music till we came out with our Dempsey EP in 2016.
Yep.
And that's when we kind of really discovered this, like, just this sound of blues meets metal meets rock. And it wasn't like we were trying to write any of them, because that's not really our intention, is to ever write a specific genre of music. We just write music that makes us feel something. And that weirdly worked. It's just that really heavy, I mean, I think it goes deeper than the actual instrumentation and the arrangements. It's all about the emotion and the attitude of it. And I feel like that old blues style still has this really heavy, angry, sad, evil side to it.
Yeah.
It's just that, the intent behind it is the same as like something like, Gojira, or, it's all the same kind of attitude. It's just that the instrumentation changed over time.
So I'm dying to ask this question. So you guys have formal training. You are not what someone would call a garage band, because your garage was Berkeley. It's like,
yes and no. I think
stop calling us that, man. Stop talking about that. You're gonna street cred. But
no, but
is that why you guys sound so good? You attribute any of it to your formal training as well? Like,
I'd say yes and no. I think that, honestly, we kind of, I feel like I wish I knew less about the technical side of music sometimes, because the whole point of art in general is to evoke emotion. I mean, there's there are no rules. There are no rules to art. You can do anything you want. But the one thing that I will say that needs to be coupled with your art is the evoking of emotion. You need to have intent behind your art. Absolutely. And so I find that oftentimes when you learn too much about something, you start thinking about it, and feeling isn't thinking. Feeling is not thinking. And so I feel like, honestly, it's easy to get lost in trying to intellectualize art rather than just letting it drive that raw, brainstem that we all have.
Primal emotion, like music brings out, like, I mean, if we're going to be dancing around a fire chanting, it's the music, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, like, it's I think society forgets that. It's not just all about whatever can make you the most money. I think the human condition probably needs music more than people talk about. Maybe. So,
now, I firmly believe that too. What were you saying?
But when you're talking about, like, again, I can see how that can happen. You go to school for a long time, you learn a lot about music, and you might end up being your best or worst critic. Now you produce something.
Yeah, absolutely.
People would be like, "Wow, this is spectacular." And you're like, "Hang on a second here. Does it take you, because of your training? Does it take you longer to write a song?"
Yeah. I think so. I think this is the thing, is that being at a school like Berkeley was good and bad. I think good because I found the band. I wouldn't have been a part of this if I hadn't gone there. Yep. And there's a few professors there that I really love and admire and just absolutely get it. But there's a culture at Berkeley that is quite destructive to creativity and art. And it's a very competitive, egocentric, sort of insecure, built upon insecurity, because we're all musicians, which is to be a musician, you're the combination of the utmost insecurity and ego at the same time, and those are constant ends with each other. So you're constantly comparing yourself.
Massive insecurity problem, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Because ego is just
so great, right?
Exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I mean, it's like that's all ego is. Ego is insecurity masquerading as confidence, and so you get so much of that at Berkeley that it can become quite a toxic environment.
How many rock stars can you fit in a room?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. And so
how do you all get? They have wide doors. They must. I'm just kidding.
What did you say?
Oh no, I said they must have very wide doors to get everybody's head
say?
through, right? Yeah. So.
Okay.
With that many rock stars floating.
So, yeah, dude. No, the doors. I don't think you could build a door wide enough for the people in Berkeley. So,
yeah. So, like, yeah. What are your plans? Like, now that you got the new music out, and it's obviously, like, it's so funny. Things are so different. Like, you know, it used to be like, you know, is anyone playing you on the radio? You know, when's your next video coming out? Now it's all like Spotify, YouTube. So, you know, how's that Spotify and YouTube going?
Yeah. You know, to be completely honest, it's been going really good for us. You know, we've had steady growth on Spotify over the past entirety of our career, and that's always been really reassuring because you have those metrics to look at to say like, okay, we are making it somewhere, and obviously, the reason we write music is because we love to write music, right. And what those metrics mean is, you know, you kind of go through this phase. You kind of go through this evolution in trying to make a career out of this, where it starts off with pure passion. You just want to write music. Then you go, well, I want to make a career out of this. And then you get a little too focused on the technical business side of things. And you start to lose that creative edge. And then you realize that and you go back to it. And it's this constant learning the balance between the two. And Spotify, for the business end of things, has been nothing but a huge help for us, because although you're trading the overall worth of your music, it's worth less because it is a commodity, and there is no sort of commitment to buying it. You are one of a billion artists on there, but at the same time, you get the opportunity to reach people in Moscow. Yeah, you know, yeah, exactly. There's, you know, the way I kind of look at it is like we have all of our fans are out there. They just haven't heard us yet. You know, the people are going to like us.
If you find that remedy to getting everyone to hear your music once, you won't have to worry about monetizing anything. I'll tell you that. You'll be rich as hell.
Yeah, that's one of the goals. That's the business side.
Mandatory try it once song player. Yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, no. Again, listening to your music, it's like, as far as evolution, you say you had some. I don't want to digress too much, but like, how many incarnations of the band have there been? We don't have to spend.
I don't know. You know, like, are you talking about like how many members, or music wise, how has it changed?
Members probably, and then music wise.
Okay, so
it had radical effects when you start switching personnel up. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason why we landed on the bandmates we have now is because it clicked and everybody had the same goal. And although I didn't know I had the same goal, because I wasn't actually intending to join a band when I got to Berkeley, that was actually not even on my radar. It just kind of happened to work out that way. And they landed on Nick, our original bassist, who's no longer in the band anymore. We have a good friend of ours, Dylan, who's been a friend of ours since the beginning of the band as well. So he was a natural replacement. But Will, our drummer, the other Jack in the band, the guitarist, and me, kind of all had the same goal in mind, that it was just, we loved writing music. And when we came together to write music, it worked. Something clicked, and we all went, okay, there's something here. Even though I had no intention of joining a band, we just kind of knew. And Jack was kind of the driving force behind putting the band together, because he had been through so many bandmates by the time I joined the band, and that was only sophomore year of college. So
wow. I think that happens. I mean, it's funny because, you know, again, I can't even imagine what that would be like, going to Berkeley and joining a band. Like, that must be like, what does it even look like? I can't even imagine.
Well, it's a lot of egos, I'll tell you what.
Wow. I was like, and then you finally actually get somewhere, and you must be like, ha. No.
Yeah.
It's like, but I wanted to ask you, so when I was reading through everything, again, one of the things that stood out to me was again one of your ex's bassist, I think it was, who soldered off the frets on the guitar. Is that a practice that you're still using, that type of guitar?
Well, that guitar from that story is still in our band. It's a massive part of our writing process. That it's this 7-string fretless guitar that it's like a Schecter that Jack bought when he was in high school, and him and Nick were they've been friends since they were 14 years old, and I think they had the guitar for like a week or something, and then they were like, what would it sound like if we took the frets off? And they took the frets off. Yeah. I think they were in high school. Yeah, they were in high school.
Most of us regular folks don't fuck with our guitars, right? So I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about our band is that we're a bunch of impulsive fucks, and so we do something, and then
they're like, oh my God.
Yeah, you do something with absolutely no thought, and then about 5% of the time it works out. And at the time, they thought, oh well, we ruined the instrument, and they put it away. And then sophomore year of college, Jack was kind of like, yo, I have this guitar back home that kind of sounds weird, and it's really it has this unique kind of tone to it. Do you want to hear it? Like, let's write something with it. I was like, yeah, sure, bring it up. And the first song we ended up writing with it was a song called Low Air.
Yep.
That's on the top of our Spotify.
Yep.
And from then on, we were just so inspired to write.
That blues stuff is coming from? Is that the magical instrument? Is that like the?
I think that's what allows us to connect. I think that's what allows us to connect that old blues sound with something very modern and new sounding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a very old sound to it, but for some reason it's unfamiliar.
I mean, if that's it, then it's a golden goose. You should hide that. But so, like, I mean, as far as like, you come up with this great new music, and you guys are like, obviously you're having a bit of fun, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun doing it.
How is COVID affecting you? Like, you guys are in California now. Very fortunate, because my best friend lives in California. He lives in Laguna Hills, and he often makes fun of me living in Toronto because we're both from Ontario, about how beautiful the weather is there. It's like, now I'm freezing.
Yeah, dude.
Here, right? So
I live about 30 minutes from Laguna, and the weather's nice, but I'll say something like Toronto. I'm honestly envious of the rock scene that you guys have there right now. I mean, you have so many good bands coming out of Toronto right now. It's insane. But yeah, the weather's slightly better over in California.
Yeah, it's funny. Toronto's a weird place, man, because our numbers say that hip hop and R&B are the number one consumed music, but our entire venue scene, there's not a hip hop venue in Toronto.
Is it really not? That's interesting.
Even one. Like, there is not one venue that you could say. There are venues like Rebel, which is a huge venue, but you could see Coldplay there one night and see P. Diddy the next. It's a huge place, right? Yeah. And of course, you can see all these big R&B artists at like the Sky Dome and all these other places. But there is really, unless that whole scene is not just underground, it's like. Like after hours in a basement, hidden away from everybody. It's very hard even for those bookers to book shows.
Is that a new thing, or has it kind of always been that way?
It's really always been that way. It's us Canadians, we're without sounding biased or in any way racist or anything else like that. There are certain demographic realities as far as hiring security and stuff like that. That go along with those shows that most venue owners in Toronto are not prepared to deal with.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, it's and that's put as politely as I can. And so you mean like our venues are all rock or jazz or blues venues.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, so it's
very interesting.
Yeah, it's if you come to Toronto, like we have in GTA, and we deal with most of them at Sea Rock Live Music. We have 80 venues in the GTA. We had 80 venues in the GTA.
We'll see how many.
And I don't know how many we're going to have at the end of this. Like some real major, amazing places have left us now, which is really, it's horrible.
It sucks, but there'll be new ones,
Yeah, there will. And there's going to be some of the mainstays that survive, right? Because they own the buildings and stuff. But, so like, have you ever played in Toronto?
No, I haven't played Toronto yet.
Oh, you're going to have to come play. We'll have to.
I'm so excited to. I'm going to make it happen.
You guys would do really well at Lee's Palace or the Horseshoe. I got to tell
Well.
Yeah. So
if I can say the word and I'm up there, man.
Well,
as soon as the border opens.
We'll have to talk to the guys at Collective Concerts. I should stop saying something. The looters are going to lose their minds. Anyways, so it's now that we've talked all about you guys, the other band members are all there in California with you. You're safe. What's next? Where are we going? Because it's not like you're going on tour.
Not on tour yet. We have for the, you know, we're adjusting our plans as often as possible to ensure that when the moment touring opens back up, we're out of breath. Like that is the ethereal goal in the air right now. For being, I'm coming out. We're flying to Nashville. Well, I can't really say that yet, but you know, we got something coming in Nashville, and watch
Instagram for the announcement, right?
Yeah. Watch Instagram for the announcement, and we have, you know, we're just going to try to fill our time as much as possible with connect, you know, trying to keep our fans connected, and also we're writing, you know, we're just not going to let off the gas. We're writing again. We're trying to get, you know, stay as busy as possible because, you know, especially for small bands, touring was such a massive way to keep yourself in front of people. And, you know, with small bands like us, you can't really, you can't do that. So you got to find other ways to get around that. And so you use social media to remind people like, hey, we're still over here. You know, we're still doing stuff. So filling our time with that.
Have you adopted streaming at all? Like we're streaming right now to some extent. Have you done any streaming shows at all?
Yeah, we did a streaming show with Bad Flower last July. We're doing a small download thing that isn't really streaming, but it is live.
Live.
Yeah, exactly. And
we tried both too. It's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. But then we have, you know, we're going to do other live streams. We're going to find fun stuff to do and keep ourselves busy to that point.
Anything else you want to tell us Canadians besides listen to all your music and follow all your Instagram and Spotify?
I want to tell the Canadians. Let's see.
Sorry about the market so cold.
Yeah, sorry, you know, like sorry your balls disappear for the all of winter. That must really suck.
It does. It does. Very embarrassing on the first day. Yeah.
I can imagine. You got to turn the heat way up before.
Yeah, you got to get to know real well so they drop, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I can't go up there and play. Honestly, I mean, I went up to Toronto rather recently, actually, and London, actually. But
yeah.
It's a cool place. Everybody's so awesome up there. I mean, you guys are way better at drinking than we are, and it's so much fun
to begin with. And you went to a place called London, Ontario. Well, there's three things. I'm from London, Ontario. I grew up there.
Oh no, fucking shit.
Yeah. So we call it FFD, fight, fucking drink. That's what London should be called.
I believe it.
Yeah, no, it's a university town. It's probably the most Americanized university in Canada. Like the Greek program's really big there. And did you get a chance to play in London, or you just checked it out?
No, I just came to visit. I was visiting some friends and whatnot. Yeah, so I got, you know, I can't wait to go up there and play the show. That's gonna be so sick. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God! All right, so I don't want to keep you all day. It's really been a pleasure talking to you and meeting you. Please keep us abreast of everything you're doing. And anything else you want to say to us? Did I miss anything?
No, I think we got everything. You know, I'm just as soon as the borders open, like best believe we're coming. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to stop in London. I hope Call the Office makes it through this somehow, some way. It's a bar in London, and it's it's one of the iconic ones in London. But trust me, there's anybody be willing to. I can give you a list of awesome places to play here in Toronto. Would love to hear.
Please do, man. Please do. As long as there's music and I can drink, it's all good.
Yeah, awesome. So this will be on, thank you so much for talking to us. I'm Hartley Pickens. This is She Rock Live Magazine on SheRockLive.com with Dead Poets Society.
Yes, sir.